Hey everyone, you're probably wondering why I'm not there. Just give me a few moments to pop up. Waiting. Ah, there I am. Hey everyone. So again, sorry I had a little bit of mic troubles, but hopefully this will reach you. Anyway, welcome to my brand new DIY series. In this series, I will be covering all the day-to-day projects that I do with my dad. Today, we are working on our kitchen window installation. Again, and this is going to be my brand new DIY series. Stuff that I do, and it's probably going to be a combination with Band-Aid budgets. Anyway, if you're new, please go down to that corner, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and bell icon notifications when you never miss brand new DIY videos. I will transfer you outside so we can get this show on the road. Okay,
But you can show them what it looks like.
I will. Okay, so we just got done the finishing paper for the next step, which is going to be somewhat soon. Yes, all that. And I just realized how much power I have left, so I'm going to take a quick break to recharge the batteries, and hopefully I can get the rest of this video produced and placed on the YouTube. Alright, we will be right back. Okay, so here's what is happening. That green board that my father is holding is the sheetrock that can repel water. And what is in the back of that is tile board. Tile board is a special type of material that can hold up the mixing material that can able this backsplash on either side of my dad. Anyway, he's just making sure that's well secured. We're going to be securing that the sheetrock above the tile board. The tile board can repel water as much as that green sheetrock can. Now, I want to elaborate. These are not the same type of materials, and if you confuse them with any type of materials, then you're going to be up a river without paddle. How I can separate the two is this. Sheetrock, and especially the green one in this case, can go on the walls of any bathroom or kitchen with plumbing fixtures on the outside of it. But, however, if you want to add certain type of backsplash like this, I would recommend tile board for that same type of situation. Now, these go on the same type of wall as well, but one can hold up sheetrock that can, well, one is sheetrock that can repel like a certain amount of water, and tile board can handle the same thing, but you put mud and your basic tiles that you want to put up with cement or tile. Honestly, I'm not that knowledgeable about this, but hopefully I can have an expert's opinion that can clarify this. So while we are waiting for us to come back, we got some more stuff. Here we go. Here we are back. Alright, so now what we have is the quarter tin. Or in this case, the I call it the corner tin. Now the corner tin is what we can place up here to get the corners marked off, so we can label the drywall mud pretty easily. Now, if those of you that know what drywall is and drywall mud, good for you. For those viewers that are not knowledgeable about this, I will explain in detail. Drywall mud is basically a certain type of a sealing agent that can cover up either holes or extensive amount of cracks in types of drywall before you do all that texturing and all that. What it does, it just goes into the sheetrock, or walls in this case, when you're trying to blend them together. And when it hardens, sand it down. And then once it's sanded down to a finishing product, which is like either a smooth table or just feels like paper, just texture the wall, or if you don't want to texture it, that's fine by you. Choose the type of paint that you want to paint over it, and then you're done. But for basic type of kitchen situations, it's a little bit tricky because you got electricity and you got basic water going, and especially around the sink, including a window, that's kind of challenging at the same time. But we like a challenge and we will address it as a challenge. Now, what we're doing now is trying to cut out the right amount of tin cornering that we need to cover up the window gaps in between the edge of it towards us into collapsing it down to the right amount of basically we're just putting a protective edge on it so we can smooth it out later. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, do you have to remove it? And is it just basically a fastener or basic joist? I will answer that being no, it is not a joist or a cover. It's just basically there to secure and cover both the blemishes of that long cornering. And also it helps smooth out the corners and mark them once we move further into the build. Now, going along this, we have to do final, like, sophisticated type of cuts, because we have to deal with these corners on either side of the left and right of me. Now, once all that's in place, we do our final measurements, we do our final pat down, and then on the next scene. Now, in this next scene here, we are basically... Oh, apologies on that. We are basically just... We got screwed down to the tile board facing us, and now we are just going to screw it down on top and move on to the next. Now, the way that my dad told me this is basically you don't want too many screws in one place or else the sheetrock breaks in or caves in on itself. So what he's having me do is getting a bigger space open so the sheetrock has a certain amount of leeway, but it won't be enough to break itself. So what we are now doing is, well, basically what I'm doing is securing it with the screws that we have and to make sure that it is stable. Now, going to screwing it in, I mean, drywall is pretty much good of what it is, but you don't want to go through it all the way or else you're going to end up like breaking it because it is very fragile. It's not like glass fragile, but I would say it's like pretty much when you're at a high school or like college party and you go like punching through a wall type of fragile. I mean, pretty much everyone's seen those videos. It's all fun and games until next thing you know, you go into a wall. But the way that I'm doing this is putting the screws with a certain amount of force, but you don't want to go too much or else it's going to cave in. You don't want to go too little that it doesn't go in all the way. Now, when you're screwing in or nailing in drywall like this, you want to make sure that there's like a little indentation with each screw. That way, it'll be flat. If you do too little, it'll be harder to cover up with the drywall. And also, it'll be difficult to cover up if you go too further in, because it'll be the same way, but you're going to be using more material to cover up the hole that you made. So I'm trying to be tough and also careful at the same time, so I can do a certain amount of room that we need to have in order to make it smooth the first time. So with the tile board and sheetrock in place, we are going to go covering our next topic that we secured the bottom piece down, and we're going to be covering the sides of the right and left of me. Now, my dad's pretty much old. I will not sugarcoat this. He had a surgery done with his knees and his chest, which in the comments section I pretty much know every hard worker has gone through this. But in his mind, he is calculating how we can get this done without him getting up on the counter and all that. Now, being me, young version of me, I can do this, no problem. But I don't have the skill set to further up my skills. Now what we're doing is measuring out the spot on the right here to basically fit it inside that tiny gap. Now, I know you probably might be thinking that why not tear out the rest of the wall? I mean, it could be easier to do that. Well, I say we could have done that, but it was something a little bit more different. Now, the way that we're trying to do this is we're trying to get it in without destroying the rest of the wall, because if you can see to the left of me, that backsplash tile is custom made and we don't want to ruin it. So what we did was cut little slats in the wall so we don't ruin that progression that we have. I mean, if you try to replace all this backsplash tile board, it's hard enough as it is, and even to find the right pieces for that, it's hard. Several hours go into it. But anyway, as we're shaving up for the next part, it's going so long that we need to cut the video short. So as we finish up the final cuts on this side and the other side, I will go all the way around the window in order to elaborate of what we've done. So apologies if we don't have that footage, it somehow got deleted. But as we're deciding on cutting this this part, and basically we're just trying to put a round peg in a square hole, as it seems, on the right side of that and up top. And now we're going to be reviewing the somewhat finished product. Okay, and the mic was off, and I'm going to be updating this when it's all finished. So anyway, I'm going to let myself from the video finish this up, and you can enjoy. Retake with the mic on. Everything looks good. Yes. Again, if you want to see more of this, go down to that subscribe button, enable notifications. You'll never miss an awesome video. So again, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright? I will see you later.